The day I had my interview, my process started off with a group interview wherein there were 9 of us and we were asked a similar set of questions, and it was a mediated interview that was followed by a group discussion on a topic wherein we had to speak about our ideal product, our brand, one company that we really want to work with, or one personality that I would want to be like. So I think knowing my goals and ambitions well helped me get through that pretty nicely. It was then followed by a written assessment test wherein I had to summarize the entire discussion, my take on the topic, in a small, concise manner. This entire process was followed by a personal interview. Now, remember, in the personal interview, you need to know your CV really well. I am somebody who has a work ex of 1.5 years, and I was grilled on my work ex, but knowing my jobs and responsibilities well was what made me sail through it. You guys need to remember that the personal interview is when they select somebody for the spot offer interviews. The spot offer interview happens with the director and the admissions panel. What helped me in the spot offer interview was knowing my strengths and weaknesses really well. You guys need to remember that faking will not help. Your strengths should be on your tips and you should be well aware of your weaknesses. If you can do all that, you'll get the offer, I'm sure.
My name is Rahul Tyagi and I have completed my graduation in BSc Physics Honours from Hindu College, Delhi University, and I was selected through Achievers Round. In my Achievers Round, there were 3 phases. First phase was an extemporary, in which the panelists asked us to speak for 2 minutes on a company where we would like to work and why we chose that company. After that, they asked us to write a summary on the topic we chose to speak. Now, second phase was an interview in which there were 2 panelists. They asked me questions regarding my educational background, why I chose that subject as my graduation. They asked me a question on current affairs. They asked me about my family background. After that, students were shortlisted for the 3rd round. The 3rd phase of my process was an interview. In that interview, the panelists asked me questions regarding my graduation subject. They asked me questions on physics. They asked me questions on current affairs. After that, they asked me what do I expect from GIM in terms of education, in terms of surrounding, and how difficult or easy it will be for me from adjusting to a day scholar environment to a residential program environment. What other options do I have apart from PGDM, and what would I do if I did not get selected for PGDM this time? So that's all for my Achievers Round interview.
Hi, my name is Subran and I was part of the Achievers Round 2016. It was just like any other day at GIM. The process was very smooth and it kicked off quite early in the morning. We went through 4 stages. First stage being the written test, moving on to group discussion, then the interview round, and if you make it through, then an interview round with the directors. I think that is the change which you will find in the Achievers Round in comparison to any other B-School round. Brief description of how my day was. We started off with the written test, and there's quite a general topic. Make sure you're prepared on the current situation and the current industries in India, and considering that 2016 was a year of major changes, make sure you're prepared with all the current topics. Moving on to the group discussion, it was quite intense, but I feel that if you portray confidence and the way you speak, that is a game changer. It worked for me. Moving on to the personal interview rounds, it is heavily dependent on your CV and how you speak about it. Make sure you're very confident and don't stress a lot. The professors are quite chilled, and make sure the points that you have added in your CV, especially the things that you have done in an extracurricular point of view or an academic point of view, because you're a part of the Achievers Round, they expect you to be different. So make sure you prepare your justification well. Talking about the Directors Round, it was a panel interview. They asked me about my work experience, my extracurricular activity. So I was a national level gold medalist in Taekwondo, and they asked me about my journey through that field. And it's all about, at the end of the day, it's all about the confidence that you exude. and how well you're prepared for it. Go in with a cool mind and go in with your points very clear and very specific as to why you want to join GIM or why you did what you did in your extracurricular activities or your academic activities. If you have something special in you or you've done something different, then make sure you highlight that. It will be asked. So overall, a very smooth process, nothing extremely different. I had 60 odd people with me, 60 odd candidates, and we had 6 people at the end for the director's interview round. And all in all, it was a good day and very fulfilling.
The Achievers Round is a new concept that they introduced just last year. They basically shortlist people based on other achievements other than academic proficiency. So you've got to highlight the stuff that you've done, extracurricular or co-curricular activities, and that's what's going to get you in for an interview to the Achievers Round. Now on the day, it's a day-long process, so be prepared. Make sure you sleep well because it's going to be a little taxing. During my year, the day started with a lecture. We were allowed to attend an actual lecture with the second year students, which was really nice. It was a good experience. After that, we had a little brief about what's going to happen during the course of the day. So the process started with a group interview, which was a new concept for all of us. Basically, you had to sit around in a circle and each person was asked a question based on a topic. You had to speak within the context of what's being discussed, but you only have to speak when told. So as opposed to a group discussion, this is different because it's like an interview format. After that, we had a regular group discussion format, which everybody knows about. Depending on your performance in the group discussion, people were shortlisted for a personal interview. During the personal interview, you need to make sure that you are well prepared with your CV. So if there's something that you're putting into your CV, make sure you know everything about it and make sure there's a reason why you've done what you have. So be prepared for that. A few students were also selected for a second round of personal interview. This was more of a panel interview and this was our final round based on which people were selected. So tips for the Achievers Round. Firstly, sleep well because it's going to be a day-long process. You need to be well rested. Secondly, know your CV thoroughly, in and out, everything that you put inside your CV. Third thing is be proud of your achievements. Own up to it and make sure you know exactly why you've done what you have done. And the last thing I would say is be confident and just give it your best shot.